Hi everybody, in this video I'm going to show you the benefit of using Moneypenny's account software and online portal, which will save you, the accounts team and the production time and money, reduce waste, reduce paper and reduce your CO2. The benefit of using our software is the fact that your crew members' access for purchase orders can be personalized. Again, remember, payroll and purchase orders are all linked directly to the account software. So let's go and take a look at a crew member in the payroll module and let's set them up for their purchase order access. So we're going to go to payroll and master file. And we're going to take a look at the record of Jenny Jones. Jenny Jones has already been set up previously, but now we're going to review her details for her purchase orders. Remember, we do need the communication to happen via email, so it's very important that the email address for your crew member is correct. So back into the Web Admin tab is where all the settings for our crew member are set up for purchase orders. So we're going to talk through these menu options one by one. For whatever reason your crew member cannot remember their password, it can be reset using the Reset Password button. If your crew member is somebody who needs to approve purchase orders or crew contracts, we have an option for notification once daily or immediately. We have the option for the crew member to view supplier details. Ideally, this should be set at yes. And we have offset details as the next option, but in the UK, this is not used or utilized. Document distribution online is also not something that is utilized to the fullest extent so far, but it is an option that is available. But for now, we're not going to give our crew member access to this menu option. We're going to say yes, Jenny can view all POs online. And we're going to say yes, Jenny, our crew member, can update her personal details. And we're going to say yes, that Jenny can enter purchase orders. Down below, we have our approval levels. So the first person who needs to approve any purchase orders that our crew member raises is a crew member called Joe King. Now, this is set as £9.99. This means any purchase order raised between the value of 0 and up to £9.99 does not need to be approved by any other crew member. Of course, we can set this as 0, which will mean every PO above the amount of 0 would need to be approved. We can have 0 in every single one of these, or you can customize it as shown. So Joe will be the first crew member to approve, Mike will be the second, and James will be the third. These can be moved around by dragging and dropping them. Okay, the values over here, as I've said, £9.99 is the first time that will trigger an event for Joe King to approve a PO. The next is £10. So any PO over the amount of £10, Mike Jones will need to approve. And any PO over the amount of £150, James would need to approve. So we're going to take a look at some scenarios where these thresholds will trigger events for somebody to approve a PO. Over on the right hand side, we have said yes, that the crew member can code up their POs. If you don't want this option available to your crew member, we can just simply select no. But let's leave it as yes, and let's limit it to one account code. So anytime a crew member raises a PO, the only option available for coding will be to the writer's line. Now this does not mean that we can't change this. This can be changed later on in the account software by the production accountant. Okay? So I'm going to save this record. And now I'm going to log in as Jenny Jones and create some purchase orders. So, here we go. So, we're logged in as Jenny Jones and I'm going to create a PO. So, any suppliers that have already been approved on the software will be available in the drop-down box. If your supplier is not listed, it can be created by clicking on the plus icon. If you have a show or a production where you have a list of suppliers that you would like to use on your new show, they can be imported to your project. This should be requested when you purchase the license online. So we're going to use an existing supplier. So I'm just going to choose this record and I have multiple currencies and multiple companies available to me on this particular project. So you can raise POs for a company in a different currency. But for now, I'm going to choose this option. And I'm going to say Fire Blanket. And I'm going to say Writers. And I'm going to choose an amount of £9.98. And I'm going to scroll. And we have a box for additional information for the supplier. We have different delivery details if needed. We have notes for the approver. And down below, we have the ability to add in a PDF attachment if needed. But for now, I'm going to submit this for approval. And this will now go and in the background, because it's under £9.98, no one needs to approve this, so it's going to automatically be approved. And we will see this in our emails. So here is Jenny's inbox, and in here we have the PO available for Jenny to save to if anywhere Jenny needs to save. And in the email you can see there's a link which, if clicked, will send the PO to the supplier. Okay? So I'm going to go and create another PO. And I'm going to again use an existing supplier. I'm going to use Hats and Wigs. And I'm going to use that company and that currency. And I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to say it is £149.99. And if I have any additional information, I can add it in. And I'm just going to submit for approval. Okay, and let's see what happens with £149.99. So the logic in the background of the thresholds that have been set up will kick in and then go to the first person who needs to approve the PO. So the first person who needs to approve the PO is this person. So remember, we had different thresholds set up on the software. So this is our crew member Joe King. So Joe is able to click on this link to automatically approve the PO. If Joe wants to have a look at the details, he can look at the details in the PO here, or can log on to the portal. So Joe King is the first person who needs to review any POs that our crew member has created. So let's log in and take a look. Okay, so we're going to look at the approved POs. And we can see that there's a new PO for the Hats and Wigs for £149.99. I can approve straight away if I wish, or I can view the PO, look at the details contained within the PO. I can approve here, or I can scroll on down. I can edit the line items if I wish, if I want to update the value or change the narrative. Like, for example, I can change that there. I can actually, from here, I can add amending notes, or I can decline the PO. Okay, I'm going to decline the PO. That PO now will go back to our crew member for them to be aware of that PO has been rejected. So that PO can then be edited and resubmitted back for approval again in the approvals chain. So if I go back to Jenny's inbox, I can see that she's received an email saying that the PO has been declined. If I log back in as Jenny, I can go back and look at my POs that I have created and click Find. See, here's my deleted or declined PO. I can edit this PO. I can change the amount. I can delete any additional lines that have been created, and I can scroll back down and I can resubmit for approval. So this will now go back in the PO chain of approvals to be reapproved. I'm just going to close this window, and as you can see, I've just been notified that there's a PO for approval. So let's take a look at that. So we need to go back in now and on our portal approve the PO, or if I click here on this email, it will automatically approve the PO. Okay, so now let's look at another scenario. So let's start creating a PO for an existing supplier, and let's just make this $149.99 and save it. So that's PO number 10 has been saved. So let's go and create another PO for another supplier, but let's this time create a new supplier. So I'm going to call this Healthy Hospital Limited, and if I don't have the email address to hand, I can leave that blank, and at a later stage I can resend the PO to the supplier when I have this information to hand. I'm going to use the same company and currency. I'm going to say Cast X-Ray, and again there's only one code available to Jenny, and I'm going to make this £500, not worry about VAT, and I'm going to submit for approval, send that off in the ether for approval. But I'm going to go back and go back to the PO that I saved as a draft. I'm going to find my POs. I can choose to use the filters or just click find, and as you can see, I now have my draft. I can edit this, I can scroll down, amend the details if necessary, or I can just submit for approval, or I can delete the PO if the PO has been raised in error. I'm going to submit for approval. Okay, so at this stage several POs have gone around for approval, and as you can see, using the find option, the crew member, when they choose the find option of their POs, can see who is waiting to approve which PO. So for example, if I didn't get an email back saying my PO for Healthy Hospital has been approved, I can go to this person, Joe King, and say, can you please approve the PO? So at this stage, I'm now going to show what happens in the account software of POs once they have come into the account software. So now the accounts team can go and review the POs and post them down to our cost manager. So we'll go to purchase orders and modify web entered POs. So as you can see, I've got some POs that are missing information, some POs that are waiting for certain people to approve. Just before we go any further with this, on the main dashboard you may have noticed on the left hand side the following. So at the moment you can see we've got 4 POs that have been approved, which we, the accounts team, can go and post down the costs. As you can see, we've got 3 POs somewhere in the approval chain, and if there was any in a draft state, it would also say that here. But let's go back and review the approved POs. Okay, so let's look at this Health and Safety Services Limited. If I double click on this, as you can see, we have our supplier name, we have it coded up. So what we can do, if we're not happy where this has been coded up, we, the accounts team, can change this. We can take out where it's been coded and code it to another line if needed. If I wanted to, I could change the narrative and the description. I can change the free fields. So I'm going to create a free field for an insurance claim. I'm going to do a question mark, tab forward, and I'm going to create new down below. I'm going to call it I1, or I can call it B for insurance claim in Brighton. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to add my free field in, and I've my VAT code where it should be, and I'm going to click save, and as you can see it now says it's ready for posting. I'm going to go and look at accounting by numbers, and I can see here that this has not been coded up when the PO was created, and at this stage I can go back and change the account code. If I want to add in a free field, I can click save, and now it's saying ready for posting. So if I post these two down, the costs will now go and be accounted for in my cost manager. And of course at any stage I can run a PO report and find out what POs are open and closed, and I can do that using the purchase order options, summary and detailed. So for now I'm going to just quickly run a detailed report, and I only want to see outstanding POs. If I want to add a supplier name, I can add a supplier name, but for now I'm just going to select outstanding POs, and I'm going to click OK and see what comes back. It'll just take a second, and I can save this as a PDF, or I can choose print preview. The results will be displayed as a page that you can review online prior to saving or printing. So of course at any stage we can run a report in our purchase orders to see what POs are open or POs are closed. We can do this by going to purchase orders and using either summary or detailed. So for now I'm going to choose detailed. I'm going to select the production, people, company and currency that the POs were created against. I'm going to select show outstanding POs only. Of course you can choose other filter options. Perhaps you want to just look at one particular supplier. But for now I'm going to click OK on show outstanding POs only, and the report that will come back will take just a second. I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to select print preview and select OK again. OK, and the report that will be displayed will show what POs are outstanding and the current balance. So here we have the outstanding POs, and as you can see it has the account codes, the lines, free fields, the PO number, date it was created, any dates where it was revised, the supplier name, description, subtotal for sets if that option was chosen, the total amount, used amount, and the total amount left on the PO. Of course, there are other options available for purchase orders in the system. You can just do a summary, or you can look at the history. In detailed, there is the option to export if you wish to use Excel to filter any details on your PO. And again, you have the option to run reports by multiple companies and multiple currencies. You can also sort the information that is brought back onto your screen, or you can also filter by other options in the other drop-down box as shown. There's one more scenario I would like to show you regarding POs, and that is for POs that have been posted down the system, but the purchase order perhaps need to be edited again. So if I go back to my crew member Jenny Jones, and if I take a look at her POs and look and find a PO that has been posted, for example Health and Safety Services, we can edit this PO. Any line items that have been posted down will not be available to edit, but we can add any additional lines. Okay, we can now submit this for approval. Our PO has been successfully processed, and now it has gone back around the chain for approval. as you can see, I've just received my email for the approver. So the amended PO has gone for approval, and as you can see, I have now got my 2 additional fire blankets, the adjusted PO amount. I'm just going to click on the link to approve. And that has been successfully processed. So now, if I go back into my purchase orders, I can see my adjusted PO is here. But once the approver, Mike Jones, approves that PO can then be posted down and accounted for. So one last thing to say about the video that you've just seen is the entire video, including raising of POs, approving of POs, and using the account software, has all been done using my mobile phone as a hotspot, just to prove that all features of the software can be used using mobile phone telephony.